When I pull up in the wind, baby, saying that they when I hop up on my shawty, they be saying that they I put in my rocket, bitch, a vibe. Cause you couldn't see I got bands, I'm the man, got a mask in my soul. When I hop up on my shawty, they be saying that they never show me love, now they see I got bands, now they saying that when I pull up in the wind,
Don't wait.
Hey guys, I'm Brendan with Riding with Brendan. Thanks for tuning in to another show. Today I'm close to home in Battle Creek, Michigan with Kevin from INSOMNIA Bagger Audio. Now a lot of you guys, I don't want to say a lot of you guys, but a lot of people, I don't want to say it's even up and coming. It's probably like started on the West Coast and been there for years, and and like everything else is kind of migrated.
It's
us.
huge on the East Coast, huge on the West Coast, down south, mid. It's really picking up.
So he specializes in bike audio. You've been to certain sound competitions, whether it be formal or non-formal, and you're always, I know that there's always a crowd around the bikes that if it's not an audio competition, they just kind of pull up. There's always a crowd around those bikes.
Oh yeah, they see the speakers, they want to hear it.
Yep. So that's what Kevin does. So let me ask first, how'd you get your start? I know it's a rabbit hole. It's easy to fall down because I'm on my way spiraling. But
I have always been into audio. Like I can remember 14 years old, and a good friend of the family was actually working on the Orion van here in Battle Creek, and I just kind of fell in love with the loud music and the bass back then. But bike audio, I've been riding since I was like 19, 20 years old, and not once did I ever think about putting friggin' speakers on a damn bike. Until like 2018, I was at Baldwin, and there was a vendor set up there. I can't remember what brand they were selling, and they had a little sound system in it. It sounded decent. And then I priced it out, and I thought, shit, I can do better than that. And it just kind of spiraled out of control from there. And here I am, sitting 6, 7 years later.
In his shop, in his own shop, installing radios and systems for guys like me.
Yes, sir.
So, and it's an easy one to go down. Everybody has their opinion on what's the best, and everybody's got the different flavor, right? Of the brands that they like. You can put in just about any. You have like
yeah, I'm an authorized dealer for all the top high-end audio brands. Authorized dealer for CICADA, Hertz, DB Drive, Euphoria, Sound Digital, HKI, Ground Zero, Bema, pretty much all the top high-end Bagger audio brands.
So if someone bought a bunch of loose components and came to you and was like, hey, can you put these in? Is that something you would still do? I kind of like,
Not really. I kind of want to stick towards the high-end Bagger audio. I want the sound that comes out of my shop to be right. I want it to be clear. I don't want to run into issues with components. There's a lot of guys around. I can, if somebody calls up and they say, hey, I just bought all this equipment, you want to throw it in for me? Chances are I got some references. I got some other guys I can send them to. That's not a problem. But even with that, if somebody comes to me and they just want to buy equipment from me and they want to do the install themselves, that's fine. If they're looking for help, I can guide them through it. I can do full plug and play kits. Just give a call, help you out.
Tell you what, just call and see what he can do for you. Say, this is what I'm looking for. As with anything, the sky's the fucking limit on the budget.
Yeah. And that's a quick limit to hit real quick.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. We were going over the cost of the stuff on just his bike, and I was like, So, like, I said, I have a Sinister with the Crazy 8s, and I'm not dissatisfied with it, but after hearing other stuff, and especially yours, the clarity is leaps and bounds difference. And Nathan, I love you guys. Your customer service is great. I love it. I'm not trying to knock you guys, but this really is next level compared to, like, the Sinister stuff.
And a lot of it's in the tune, too. You can take some of the not high-end stuff, but mid-level. You can take mid-level equipment, and as long as you put a DSP in it and you know what the hell you're doing with the tune, you can tune it to make it sound good. It might not get as loud to the point your volume might not be there, but the clarity will be there.
Okay.
And once you hit that certain threshold, you're going to start losing that clarity. And you're going to lose that threshold.
Which he lost me after about 3 words into that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. You can make it sound good, but not great.
Right.
So you have a whole Cicada set. It's 2016.
Yep.
I asked you about that. Is that stock head? It's not stock head unit.
No, that's the new Soundstream Reserve V2 head unit. It's got the larger display screen in it. This bike just came with that little 4.3 non-boom piece of shit. So I would have liked to have found an actual head unit out of like a 2019 and up GTS unit, like what you got on your special. But guys that are selling that shit, they're fucking proud of them because that's a good head unit. So I have to go with the Soundstream. I love it. Got a couple over there on the shelf. I'm not an authorized dealer as of right now for Soundstream, but I do have contacts, so I've got a couple of them sitting on the shelf.
So, well, good. I mean, so it's, call, like, and you can get whatever the fuck you want, and they're steering in the direction of what you say. Hey, I only want the fairing speakers. I want them to sound good. How am I going to get there? Everybody, it's a full commitment, definitely, to get into your bags, because you lose a lot of fucking space. Go with subs.
It depends on what you want to go with. Like a lot of guys, they don't want to sacrifice their bag space, so we can do rear-mounted 8s. So if you kind of think about your bag as breaking into thirds. You've got your back third, you got your middle third, and you got your front third. So if a guy doesn't want to lose all their bag space, I can do a set of rear 8s, and then only lose a third of their bag space on both sides. But if you want to get crazy, then we can seal and port them and drop some 10-inch mid bases in there.
So this is an analogy that just came to me, and this is my warped ass mind. This is me, for example, but I equate it to like chicks that get boob implants, breast augmentation.
BPC.
Yeah, you never hear anybody. You never hear any of them go, "I wish I went smaller," right?
and that's where the fucking rabbit hole comes in, because guys will be like, you know what, I can't lose my fucking bag space, and they'll throw 8s in it, and then you're talking to them again about 4 months later, and they're like, shit, I should have gone with the fucking 10s. That's
kind of where I'm at. Like I like my system, but now it's like. I want to love my system.
And then you put the 10s in, and you're like, God, I could get more out of this. Yeah, you can. Let's seal it and port it. You don't have to trade out the equipment at that point, but you got to seal it and port it and brace it and fiberglass it and
do all the bells and whistles. And do it correctly, properly.
Yes.
So, and you reached out to somebody because I admire you for not wanting to work on, because he's been doing this a long time. It hasn't worked on people's bikes until he was ready. He refused to, which I admire, because you don't want to be that guy.
No.
Right, so
I don't want to be known as the hack. I want to be known as the guy that's doing it right. So like, if you bring your bike to me and you have to take it back to the dealer for any type of warranty work or anything from the dealer, and they open up your fairing, they're going to open up and say, damn, this looks good. Or if you're cross country and something happens and another dealer or somebody else opens it up, they're going to say, this looks good. Like, I guarantee you probably got a lot of guys that are going to be watching this video right now that follow Carlos Ramirez out of NVS Audio.
Okay.
I don't want to be the wiring rescue guy. I refuse to be that fucking guy.
Is that what he is?
No, so wiring rescues. Carlos Ramirez out of NVS Audio, he does these wiring rescue videos where he'll open up somebody else's bike where some other shop has done the fucking work.
Fucking bird's nest.
And it's a bird's nest of just bullshit, and it's not even the proper wiring, and it's a fucking nightmare. He calls them wiring rescues. I will not be that guy.
I'm afraid for you to look into my fairing now. It's gonna go, holy shit, what was this dude doing?
Nope.
Because I did my own install on the...
No, proper wiring, proper termination, wire management, run everything down the backbone, keep it clean, keep it safe. And yeah, like you were saying, I refused to touch somebody else's bike until I knew what I was doing was right.
And that's admirable, and that's a big thing, I would think. And a lot of people... And I'm not knocking, your buddy Steve down the street who made his system awesome, and all of a sudden he's got yours, and he's like, oh, dude, I fucked your bag up. I cracked your lid putting the 6x9s in. And that's admirable. Everybody, they have the templates and shit. People probably could, but to do it the correct way is huge. And to do it to where you're confident in your skills, you're not like, oh, I hope they like it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
Right, good. And that's a bad guy to be, so it's a good thing you don't want to be that guy. So tell me what's on your bike. I heard this, I'll have a video portion of this playing, and I know the internet and the YouTube and all that doesn't do them justice.
No, not at all.
Not even close, but...
You can get a little bit of the clarity, but you're never going to get the low end, the bass, anything along those lines.
So tell me about your bike. You have fairings, lowers, you have the seat, I don't know what those would be called.
Yep, tour pack pods.
Okay, and then the lid, speakers, and you have 10s, correct?
Correct.
So what kind of watts are you pushing through there?
Grand total, I've got 5,400 watts in it.
Right on, and do you need to upgrade your battery for that?
Yeah, once you hit a certain threshold, your factory stator, factory battery, non-AGM, you can start running 1,200, 1,400 watts. Once you start getting up above that, if you're running like a 1,600.1 or an 800.4, which is kind of a common theme for a lot of 4 and 6 speaker bikes, bottom line minimum, you have to put an AGM battery in it. Once you hit that threshold, you have to upgrade to a lithium. Anything above that, about 2,400 watts, you have to be into a lithium. Otherwise, you just can't keep up, and you got to remember, it takes power to make power.
Yeah, there's a couple nights that my buddies have killed my bike at the bar. We're jumping it, so I understand, and I'm a little more cautious with that now.
And that's the nice thing, if you upgrade to a lithium, your run time is going to be substantially longer. Like this year up in Baldwin, we sat out there in front of the log bar with this thing playing damn near full volume for about an hour and a half before I finally looked over and went, oh, fuck. We better go ride this thing. Yeah. So we took it out for a ride, came back to the log bar, and rocked it out for about another hour or so in front of everybody. So
a term and a concern of mine has even been, it's like the guy that got struck 66 times on the great outdoors by lightning. He hears thunder, his ass is hauling.
Skunk guy.
Yeah, running for home. Like mine, they claim is weather resistant. Mm-hmm. But if you're like me, you ride, and fuck you, Scott and Jim, you ride, and no matter what the weather is. Yep. So this is all waterproof and sealed up.
Yeah, everything I've got on this build right now, because you got to be careful too, because even a lot of your higher end Bagger audio brands out there, they're going to sell you completely waterproof equipment, and there's nothing wrong with that, depending on the placement and where you ride and stuff like that. Because honestly, paper cone speakers are phenomenal. Once you get into your carbon fiber, which is 100% waterproof, you lose a little bit, but is it really noticeable? Not really, and especially when you start talking about the longevity and when you can ride, it's worth every fucking penny to go with carbon fiber.
Okay.
So like this build here, I'm 100% waterproof all the way through. Like I was telling you earlier, with the exception of my everything that's in the fairing, as far as the amps and the DSP, they are not waterproof. But what I use is a tailored 309 Customs front fairing shroud, and it covers everything, and it completely waterproofs everything in the fairing. So the wife and I, we ride in everything. We don't stop because it rains. We don't find an overpass. We just crank it up and keep on fucking going.
So yeah, that's kind of what I do. I prefer to not ride in rain. So if I'm in the rain, I want to keep going to get out of it.
Exactly.
I'm not a big helmet guy, so I'm always, I just want to go. So that's good, because that was a bit, do they call it marine grade anymore? Because I know that everybody's like, oh, marine grade is the fucking
they really don't use that terminology. Whether they tell you that it'll have carbon fiber, or it'll be sealed around, like I'm running the horns in my lids and in my fairing, and what they do is they put like a rubber seal in between the base of the horn and the actual woofer component. So water goes in there and it just rolls right back out.
Do you have like a hole in the bottom of your bags if anything gets in there to drain out?
No, because my bags are sealed as well. Nothing's coming in. I'm not getting any water in my bags. I've got the right seals on the lids. I've got the right seals on the top speakers. The mid-bass driver down in the bags has the proper seal around it. Nothing's getting in those bags.
Perfect.
They've never been wet.
That's pretty awesome. So what do you recommend to someone who just wants, like, all right, so any Tom, Dick, or Larry, Harry, whatever the fucking saying is, comes in and is like, hey, I just want to hear it a little better on the highway. I don't want to go nuts. Do you just recommend like a high-end fairing speaker? It
depends on the type of bike. Is it a standard street glide where they just got the two in the fairing, or what are they rocking? What do they have, and what kind of music do they listening to, and what are they really getting out of it versus their budget? So like if a guy came in with a street glide and they're just rocking a 2-speaker setup and they weren't worried about coin, I would probably push them towards a 2-speaker setup with like a component system. Because with the components, you get the mid-bass driver and you get the separate component tweeter in the grill, and you get the best of both worlds. You get that little bit of bottom end pop, you get a little bit of bass, plus you get the high crisp highs for your brights. It's really bright. Talking guy with like an Electra comes in, they're just rocking the tour pack and those right there. We got a couple ideas out there, but I would probably go with components up front and some type of mid-bass driver in the rear tour pack, so they can really get that bottom end.
Badass, yeah. Okay. I mean, because that's going to be a lot of people are probably just want some bare basic
Yep.
upgrade because stock sucks. I mean, let's be honest. I don't know. The 2024 shit's not horrible for a stock thing.
It's not bad, but you can
You
definitely improve.
Yeah, for sure. And then you're fucking welcome to the rabbit hole with the rest of us.
Yeah, I actually did a 2024 Road Glide ST when I was up in Jersey at NVS, and on that one we did the 6.5s up in the fairing. The gentleman actually put 8-inch lowers on, and then did 6x9s in the lids, and it rocked out pretty damn good.
Good, man. So from hearing this, and you did this install.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, right? And we'll put it back over there on the battery so we don't kill it.
Okay.
And I can do a walk around while it's going and show you guys what it is and how it looks, and it's clean and I'm impressed. I mean, for what it's worth.
I appreciate it.
I mean, I like it. I like the setup you have here. You're clean, you're organized. It's not like, and I mean, maybe you did it because it doesn't look like it's somebody that did this in a hurry, right? Like, oh fuck, Brendan's coming. Let's clean the fucking barn. So,
I'm kind of type A. Like when I start a project, I don't sleep until it's fucking finished. Kind of drives my wife nuts sometimes, but
okay.
I'm very type A personality, and that's hence the name of my business, Insomnia. Because if I start a project, I don't rest until it's done. It drives me insane, and I like being organized.
And that fucking helps the fucking world go round,
Yep.
man. Why make your job harder than it has to be by being fucking cluttered, right?
Yep. Spend 2 hours looking for something you just had 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. So what is the turnaround time? Let's say typically for like I want to say like I see a lot of lowers and I see a lot of the lids. So like say like a 6-speaker system. What do you think your turnaround time is typically once you have the components in house?
If a guy shows up and he just wants a 6-speaker install without sealing and porting the bags, it's generally a day, 1 day turnaround.
Okay.
2-speaker, 4-speaker setups is generally within the day, about 6 hours or so.
Okay.
If we start getting a little bit more elaborate with it and the guys want it sealed and ported, it's probably going to be here for a couple, 3 days because I'm just a one-man show doing it.
Sure.
So it'll probably be 2 to 3 days, so in that way I'm not pressed for time and everything's done perfect.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to hurry that, right? Like you said, you do it right, so you're not going to hurry it. So expect your bike to be gone for a couple days. And now it's tougher, I think, for guys. People don't usually take their bikes in for shit unless at this time of year.
Yep.
But come winter, man, you got plenty of room for bikes to get in here for people to upgrade their shit. So if you're thinking this winter, maybe you guys want to do that, upgrade and have some better sounds for next year, you got to give Kevin a call, man. His shit is good. And he's not going to steer you wrong. I'm vouching for him, which I don't do typically for anybody. So you guys can beat me up. Yeah, I don't know. What else?
And that's another thing. You kind of mentioned that I kind of traveled cross country earlier this year. So like you were saying, I refused touching anybody's bike until I knew what the fuck I was doing was the right way. So I reached out to Carlos Ramirez out of NVS Audio in Jersey. And I went up there and spent a week with him and his team at his shop. And as far as I'm concerned, and there might be guys out there that disagree with me, but Carlos Ramirez is like the godfather of this industry. The man is an audio fucking genius. And when it comes to bikes, amazing. So I went up there and I spent the week with him to make sure what I was doing was right, and I learned how they did it their way. So when I got back to my shop, I was doing it right. And with that, all my wiring harnesses, my T-harnesses, my plug-and-play kits and everything else, I'm using Carlos's, all of his stuff. So I keep it in stock. If I need T-harness, I use the NVS Audio T-harness. If I need an amp wiring kit, I use the NVS Audio wiring kit. Okay. So it's all OFC, good quality stuff. I use Rhino brand 9000 series RCAs, which are top of the line, especially for our bikes. Yeah,
which you can skimp on it, but why? You're gonna save a dime to spend $1 later, right?
Yep.
You know? So again, that goes back to the breast augmentation. You're gonna always want bigger, right? So.
Do it right, do it once.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself in that rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole is not fucking cheap.
Yeah. So put the squeaky toy in first time.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna involve Kevin here in some stuff coming up. We obviously the outdoor stuff that we have and events that we have. You'll see Kevin hopefully coming out to some of them. He does have kind of a day job right now. Well, Not kind of. It is a career now. But hopefully we can get you out. I know everybody's clocks are different, right? Everybody's times are different. You work for the railroads, so that's...
Yep, 25 years.
Yeah, so that... Clearly the railroads aren't local always, so...
Nope.
Hopefully we can get you out. Even if you come out and just hang out in the tent, don't bring your shit, just to talk to people. Like, we would have loved to have you at Hot Rods and
awesome.
Harleys. That would have been a cool place for you to come out, and, there's definitely a few places we'd like to have you come out to.
Yeah, definitely got to get out there and start meeting people.
Yep, for sure. This podcast, probably, you meet the 3 people that listen.
Hey, you 3 people, share it.
Yeah, so that's why I got to do my call to action. If you guys are new to this station, but I want to do it. I think I'm going to have you do some stuff to my bike. Woo! Tablecloth, that's okay. We needed that breeze. Coming up down the road, you guys see me, you can say, hey, let's see what he did, and I'll show you guys, and you can judge for yourself. I mean, and everybody's going to have their flavor, like,
Oh, yeah.
well, you should have done this, you should have done, well, I didn't. Go fuck yourself. This is what I did, and it sounds great. So.
and the other thing is everybody has a different listening preference.
There's just back to what we talked about often.
Yeah, I'll bring a bike in here. I'll have a client, and I'll do a full RTA tune on it, and it's tuned, just flatlined all the way across, and it sounds fucking phenomenal. And the client will be like, it's a little too bright. It's a little too loud on the highs. Hey, that's fine. This is your bike. I'll tune it to the way that you want it, but when I do tune it to the way you want it, I'm going to tune it to the point where you're not frying fucking voice coils and you're not popping fucking cones, and but everybody has a different preference. So just because it's the way I tuned it doesn't mean it's the way that you're going to like it.
But be honest with what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Because you're going to tune it to that. Because everybody hates Nickelback, but they know all the words, right?
Yep.
So if you're going to listen to rap, which if you get an upgraded system, you're fucking gonna.
Yep.
You're going to hear it and you're going to say, that sounded good. Let's see what it sounds like on my bike, right?
Yep.
So
always do.
I know everybody's a hardcore rocker. Woo, me too. But there's times, right? And chicks, if you have a chick on the back of your bike, they're going to want to listen to something like that. And you want to be ready for it so you don't fuck your system up.
And turn that bass up.
Yeah, so be fucking truthful with what you're going to do, right? So,
yeah, we'll tune it to what you listen to.
yeah, so what do you have to where people can do their fucking phone bullshit, or is that something you don't recommend for the layperson to fuck with?
Yeah, so every bike that comes into the shop, I put a DSP in it. I refuse to do a bike without a DSP. If you don't have a digital signal processor in there, you're leaving shit on the fucking table. So every bike gets a DSP. I'm using right now, I sell 3 different brands, but the one I primarily use in the shop is the HKI Mini. It's got an app that you just download it on your phone, and you can make all the changes right there on your phone. What I will tell people though, and I tell my clients whenever they leave here, is please don't mess with it unless you know exactly what you're doing, because it's a good way to start frying speakers.
That's exactly
popping cones.
I won't fucking touch it.
And I have no problem with a client coming back a week, month, 2 months later and say, hey, Kevin, we need to tune this down a little bit, or can you turn the bass up?
Yeah.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Just, but once you fucking around on your own and do it, then
that sucks.
you're opening a can of fucking worms, right? The Pandora's box. You might get it, but you might blow your shit up.
Appreciate the time. I appreciate the help. Kind of not really new to this area, but I'm new. I just want to give our community and people like us another option around the Southwest Michigan area, and that option is doing it right.
Yeah, I mean, and our options right now are pretty limited. Dealership, right? And maybe some car audio guys are starting to delve into it, but you want to go with someone who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, you're not going to take your car to the plumber to have the oil changed.
Right. Well, I might. I'm kind of a fucking idiot. But
Bullshit, chillin' in the VIP, I'm on that bullshit. Always with a PYT, my nigga bullshit. Nigga ain't no strings on me, I'm on that bullshit. Player hater BYE. Bullshit, chillin' in the VIP, I'm on that bullshit. Always with a PYT, my nigga bullshit. Nigga ain't no strings on me, I'm on that bullshit. Player hater BYE. Yo, I'm poppin' rubber bands, poppin' models and they friends. Yeah, they fly as shit and all of them poppin' on Instagram. Hoppin' off the whip just so I can show my money dance. Shorty back it up and made it clap without using the hands. Never bullshit. Bullshit. Chillin' in the VIP, I'm on that. Passed up an opportunity. opportunity to get that cash up. Yeah, I'm about to chop my nigga, so I'm feeling gas up.